Welcome to the Rachel Elizabeth Studio and Boutique. So this is what you see when you first come in the front door. You're welcomed by our welcome desk and whomever is behind it. To the right there we've got some cards for other vendors, and inside of the beautiful cabinet we've got some of our headpieces and our garter belt being displayed. Starting with the smaller of our two styling sections and dressing rooms. This is perfect for about 4 people plus the bride. And then inside this beautiful dressing room, we've got some really cool hooks on the walls that are as well decorative but also to hang the gowns on. The photos on the wall here are all from our original studio and first collection. Next to this massive mirror is usually a temple gown or a prom dress display, and each station has a styling setup here. So you've got some veils as well as some different headpieces to try on. That way you can get all dressed up when you've got dresses on. Looking at the space as a whole here, one of my favorite things about this space is that the chairs in this section are actually my grandmother's, as is this beautiful cabinet here that our original sign sits on. The sign was made by my dad and I designed it, and he finished it and cut it out. And that's what used to hang out in front of my house before we moved into our current space. So there's my grandmother's chairs that you can see there. And one thing that I love that we added about a year ago are these floral bouquets, and they double as a bouquet for the bride to hold. So again, you can get the whole picture. Here are the prom dresses, of which we're getting more of, followed by our temple gowns and into our short and sheath gowns. Wrapping around, you've got mermaid styles, and then the very beginning of our modified A-line. Moving to the other side of our store, you are first going to see some of our caplets and shrugs and baby dolls on that spiral rack there, some of which are one of a kind. And then you've got some of our lingerie here. One thing that we love to do is create unique ropes, so I'll go out and find a ton of fabric, and I'll buy as much as I can that's unique and different, and what I can make, and once it's gone, it's gone. So you know that when you buy a Rachel Elizabeth rope, you have one of the only ones ever created just like that. Across from our wall of lingerie, you'll see in just a second our wall of veils. So not only do we have some at our styling stations, but we do have added hanging space here for veils, which is a great way to see the entire veil as a whole. Here's the back of the second and larger of the two styling stations. Continuing on with our modified A-line gowns into dropped waist gowns, and in just a minute you get into the larger A-lines, and finally end with our big ball gowns. These two dresses on the end here are two of my absolute favorite, Ava and Georgia. And then starting right about here, we start to move into our current collection. You can see the shapes start to reverse, like go from a ball gown down to a sheath or a mermaid. We keep these separate so that we can really show our brides the newest styles that we have in the store. Right here on the end, this is one of our revamped gowns. If you're following along on our Instagram and social medias, you'll see that we have decided to revamp some of our older collection gowns. That way we're always showing you the newest styles. Then this is our beautiful second space. This is our original furniture from our original showroom that we've brought into this one. I absolutely love this bouquet. This one is personally one of my favorites, just with the colors and the shapes and the textures. All of the bouquets and floral in the shop were all created by Rose by Sharon, who is actually my mummy and one of my seamstresses. So coming into the mirror and our second styling station here, you can see, if you look in the left-hand corner, there's a statue of a mermaid who's actually holding one of our headpieces. I love to hide little tidbits around our store that kind of allude to my current collection inspiration. So you'll see a lot of butterflies and a lot of mermaids. Then this is my favorite of the two dressing rooms because of these flowers. These flowers are so beautiful and were created for a conference that we went to for our booth, and when we got back we were like, well, what do we do with them? So my sister and I stuck them to the ceiling of this dressing room, and it is one of my favorite surprises that you'll find around our store. And now we're headed to the back. This is our employees only section where we make and design all of the gowns. So first you'll see this is kind of our community section where people sign in, but also where we get to eat lunch and just hang out. This board is pretty special to me. We wanted a way to keep track of everything that was going on in all of our custom clients. So that board is kind of modeled after like an OR board. I got the idea while watching Grey's Anatomy, which is by far one of my favorite shows. Then over here you've got my desk and a bunch of my favorite inspirational images, as well as my bags and everything that's used to, keep business running smooth. All of our paperwork. This desk is my assistant designer Marin's desk. Oh, and there you see Miss Tentley. She's my 7-month-old puppy who comes to work with me every day. We've got 2 sergers, one of which is being used because the other is currently threaded with black, and we're not currently making any black gowns. This is our ironing station and Miss Tentley's favorite spot to bask in the sun and play with her toys. Then we've got our cutting table. One of the things I want to highlight is this beautiful lace. We just used this on a custom client's gown and I am just in love. This is what I call our fabric tree. I wanted something that was going to be easy to just pull and the bolts of fabric roll, and we couldn't find anything, so I tasked my dad with actually building this for us. So we bought a Z-rack and just used the base of that, and he ended up building it, and it's my favorite thing in the world. So then this is our client's tower. Each one of those doors is filled with materials for certain specific clients. Here in the corner you've got a laddered floral display that's usually where the Christmas tree is in the front, as well as our cage that we send down the runway sometimes. There's my mom just working along, doing some sewing. We have 3 straight stitch machines in the back. That is her favorite spot to work at. And this is mine. I like being in the middle so that it's easier for people to come and talk to me because I'm easier to get to. You can see there I'm actually working on one of the revamp gowns. And if you follow us on Instagram and on our website, you'll see all of those. So that's it. Thank you for watching the tour of our store, and Hannah's going to show you out.